right, so we have a 2023 BMW 330e. Doesn't matter if it's a 330e, 330i, as long as it's the G20. It's got the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine in it, the turbo. All these engines are identical. I mean, they're very similar. I would always double check to make sure that you have the correct viscosity oil. I would double check to make sure that you have the right spec that's required in that viscosity oil. And all that you could check in the owner's manual. And we'll take a peek at the owner's manual of this one to show you where I'm finding it. But take a peek at that and find out what you need, the quantity of oil, the viscosity of oil, and also the specification for it. So in this particular model, the 330e 2023, you need 6.1 quarts of 0W20, and it's got the long life, what is it called? BMW Long Life 17 FE Plus. That's the specification that you need to follow. As long as it's got that in it, then you're good to go. I ordered this entire kit, which is right here, from FCP Euro. I'll put the link down below. It's 6.1 quarts. This is a little bit over 6.1 quarts, and it's got the OEM filter that comes with it. So we'll open that up and get into the filter that's here. I'm gonna switch this. So getting to this filter is not too bad. It's definitely a little bit more difficult than the F30 series, which is the series of BMWs, the 3 Series BMWs before this. I don't recall the exact year range, but I had a 2014 F30, and the filter was more up in the front area, so it was a lot more accessible. This one's a little bit more difficult because it's right there. That's the canister. So you gotta move a couple things around. You know, you could probably get away without moving anything around. I'm actually gonna try without moving anything around first. But it is a long filter. The part number, just so you have it. It's an actual BMW filter that you get from FCP Euro. All right, so to change the oil, to actually remove the oil from the engine, there's this little cover right here. Okay, so I see what I needed to do. You actually have to pull out a little bit and then twist it counterclockwise to open this up, right? And then inside you'll see, I believe it's a 17 millimeter nut. And then all you have to do is loosen that to remove the oil. So that's what we're gonna do now. So you can see this is the cover for the oil plug, or the oil nut. And then these little clips right here, that's what was holding it in place. So it doesn't fall out while you're driving, but kind of clips into position. So you have to kind of pull this out from the center and then turn it counterclockwise in order for this to disengage, and then you can open it up. I'm also gonna remove, actually I'm gonna open up after I remove this cover. I don't think I need to remove this, but I'm gonna remove it anyway, just to give me a little bit more wiggle room on that side. But all this does is it just plucks in. There's like little grommets that hold this in place. And I believe there's 4 of them. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're like little rubber grommets. And then these pins go right into it. Let's see if I can find one real quick. Yeah, right here. Here's a little like cylindrical pin, and then that just pops right into the grommet. That's what holds it in place. So you can take this off, clean it if you want, but you got to get that out of the way so you can gain a little bit more access to that oil filter back there. I'm also going to open up the oil filler cap so that, you know, when you remove the oil, air can rush in. You can remove as much oil as you can. Comes with a new crush ring and a new rubber O-ring for the gasket on the oil filter canister. Just so you know, it does get messy underneath here. But I was wondering where the crush washer, the old crush washer was, because I couldn't find it. It's still on the car. So you're gonna have to pry that off. I might have to use a screwdriver to pry that off. All right, I'm gonna put the oil drain plug back in. with the crush washer at like 18, 19 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna put the cover back on. See these little grooves? Go in here, spin it clockwise, and it just goes right into position. And it locks into place like that. All right, so you do have to get this harness out of the way so you can gain a little bit more room and access to that. And then this is clipped on by these two little clips. So you just move them out. These two right here, move them this way and pull up at the same time, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna remove the oil filter from the car, but remember, the oil filter has this little nub right there. Just remember that goes in one direction, all right? So pay attention when you remove the old one where that is located. That's on the back side. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the O-ring that's on here. All right, and replace it with the new one. So you could use a little screwdriver, you could use an X-Acto knife. Just get your finger behind it and remove the old one. Lubricate the new one with a little bit of oil that's already on my hands. And then just put it back onto the little groove that's there specifically for the O-ring. Okay, you can see it right there. And this goes back in at the same, at 25 Newton meters, right? So figure like the O-ring is what seals it. So you just need to hit that and then drive it home, and that's it, you're done, okay? To put the new filter in, all you gotta do is just push it back into place. It snaps in. And remember, this little knob right here, that little piece is on the back side of the engine when you place it back. And this is the oil that's going to be going into the car. Liquimoly 6600 0W20 oil into the car. 6 quarts in, and just double check the level. All right, now I'm just checking for leaks, making sure everything's clean. And I don't see any issues whatsoever. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to check the level of the oil on the car, and in order to do that, you got to get into the menu. I just type in oil, engine oil level measurement, and the engine needs to be started. So you put it in sport mode, put it in extra boost mode, and the engine will start up. All right, go back to that menu, oil level measurement, start menu, and then it goes in through a progress. Once it gets to 100%, it'll tell you exactly on the screen where you're at in terms of oil level. You can see right here is at the maximum. So you're good to go. The second thing you want to do, and it's a convoluted way of doing it, but this is the way that BMW set it up, is when you're in the off, you want to just basically reset the oil counter. So, if you change your oil, you can basically reset the counter. I think it goes off every 11,000 miles. But you can obviously, whatever the interval you want to set it at, if it's like 5,000 miles or 6,000 miles, you can basically reset it so it doesn't warn you every time you start the car. So car's got to be in the off position. Just tap on this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to press the BC button for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Let go. And then you'll have the engine oil reset. So the the reset's not possible at this point because I already reset it. But in order to reset it, you just press the BC button again for 3 seconds. It'll allow you to reset it. It'll ask you to reset it. You press it again, and then you can reset it. So you'll be good to go.